Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today at the invitation of Nick and Jenny to share in the joy of their wedding. This outward celebration that we shall see and hear, I believe, is an expression of their inner love and devotion they have in their hearts towards one another. Marriage is the clasping of hands, the blending of two hearts, the union of two lives into one, and your marriage must stand, not by the authority of the state, nor by the seal on your wedding certificate, but by the strength and power of the faith and love you have in one another. Guys, Nick and Jenny called me, I guess a little over a month ago. They were on their way somewhere in the car together. Nick says, man, I need your attention. Do you have a few seconds? And I said, yeah, man. I said, what's up? And he goes, no, I really need your attention. I said, yeah, man, I'm chilling. What do you want to talk about? Nick said, man, I think me and Jenny want to get married at Bonnaroo. I said, oh, yeah, cool, bro. Do your thing. Do you. That's what you want to do. That's fine. Yeah, I'm behind you. Then Nick says, but man, there's one thing. I said, what's that? And him and Jenny say at the same exact time, we want you to marry us. Ow. And I paused for a second and I said, dude, what? And I said, what did you just say? And Nick says, man, we'd be honored if you would marry us. And I have no idea why I stood at this table. My initial reaction was, I just busted out laughing. I was like, are you serious? And he said, yeah. And I said, man, you know what? I'll tell you what. If you put that much trust and faith in me, I'd be honored. So, I'm going to tell you a quick story about Nick and Jenny. I met these two for the first time ever. And coincidence, 2012/2013, Base Nectar New Year's Eve in Nashville. Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of people here that was in attendance of that. Brad kept telling me, he said, man, there's this guy that you got to meet, man. This friend of mine named Nick. You'd love it. You two would hit it off. I feel like at Holly goes, you two are almost like, he's like the Colorado version of you. And I laughed. I said, I don't know. We'll see, man. We'll work that well. As soon as I met these two, we hit it off. Like, immediately great friends. And we met one night, the night before the New Year's Eve show. And we talked for a little bit, hung out that night, had a few drinks. And the next night at the show, we actually weren't like in each other's like group, like at the show. Well, out of nowhere, I'm just standing there, you know, obviously getting down to Base Nectar. And somebody comes up to me, grabs me by my shoulder, and turns me around. And it's Jenny. And Jenny, out of nowhere, hands me this record. It was a record that she painted and made herself. And she painted it like the Colorado state flag. And it said that she decorated Base Nectar New Year's Eve 360, 2012-2013, and signed it Nick and Jenny. I don't know why, I just thought that meant a lot to me. Because I just met them, and I'm like, wow, you came out of nowhere in the middle of this crowd and found me and showed that act of kindness to me like that. Like, that told me a lot about Jenny right there on the spot. And that record, by the way, still today sits in my apartment in my living room for everybody to see when they walk in. And I get asked about it all the time. So that showed me right there on the spot what kind of person that Jenny was. And Nick, I mean, where do I even begin? I mean, like when Brack told me from the very beginning that this guy was we had a lot in common and everything, I didn't realize that my long lost twin brother from Colorado would be this guy right here. We only get to see each other once or twice a year, but it's like the moment we see each other, it's like we saw each other yesterday. Like, I walked up to Bonnaroo here yesterday, and one of the first people I saw was Nick. I couldn't get out of the truck fast enough to give this guy a hug. And he couldn't come up to me fast enough to give me a hug. And guys, for real, we're all gathered here today, honestly, because of these two right here. And because, not to be corny, but it's true, because of love. And I've watched these two the few times that I've been around them. It's amazing how much they love each other. So I couldn't be happier to do this for you guys. And I'm glad that everybody here is gathered today. Without any further ado, we'll get this thing started.
Ow!
Yeah! All right, guys. But before we begin, is there anyone in attendance that does not think, okay, that does not think these two should be married? If so, please speak now or forever hold your peace.
Oh, it's real.
All right, guys, here we go. Nick, would you please face Jenny? Nick, would you like to say your vows to Jenny now, please?
Jenni, words cannot express the love and care I have for you since the moment we met. You were the only person who had the patience, the kindness, and the understanding of the person I am. You were the one that loved me for who I am. We moved to Costa Country, all the way from Colorado to Seattle, even when we only had one car and only one income, and you still took the bus, no matter what the time, the weather, the state of mind you were in. You would sacrifice your time to go up to the bus stop and take that to wherever you needed to go just so I could get to work. When I come home from a long day and I don't have an ounce left in me, and all I can do is sit on the couch and just stare at the wall sometimes, and you would comfort me, clean, cook, reassure me that this is all worth it at the end, and realizing at the end that you had the same long day as me and don't have an ounce left in you. That was part of it, I promise. You're my friend, my mentor, and ultimately my soulmate. And I wouldn't rather spend every other day with a person like you. He gets me, he loves me, unconditionally. I love you, Jenni.
Further ado, you repeat after me. I, Nick, take thee, Jenni, to be my wedded wife, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part. Jenni, do you accept this man to be your husband? Okay. Jenni, would you like to say your vows?
Alright. Today I promise to commit my life to you. I will always be there for you. Whether we're going through hell or on top of the world, I'll be by your side. I will always treasure the kind, genuine, unique person that you are, and to never ask you to be who you're not. I will always treat you as you are the most important person in my life because you are. I cannot wait for the journey that lies ahead from us, and I will always find comfort in knowing that I get to share it with you. I love you with all my heart, and I promise from the depths of my heart, my mind, and my soul, for all of our life together, and I will do everything it takes to make our marriage work. Nick, will you let me share my life with you?
Okay.
Okay, Jenni, repeat after me. I, Jenni, take thee, Nick, to be my wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, for better or for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish, till death do us part. Nick, do you accept this woman to be your wedded wife? Nick, Jenni, you guys have the rings.
Hope so.
Okay, guys, rings.
Oh, we did that backwards. Hey, everything else went pretty well.
Rings are very large in their significance. They are made of precious metal and precious stone, and reminds us that love is not cheap or common, but indeed love is very costly and dear to us. These rings are also made in a circle, and their design tells us that we must keep love continuous throughout our whole lives, even as the circle of the ring is continuous. As you wear these rings, whether you are together or apart for even just a moment, may these rings be a constant reminder of the promises you are making to one another this day. Will you please place the ring on next hand? And without any further ado, may your hands be joined together forever in friendship, and your hearts be joined together forever in love. Nick, you may kiss the bride. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to present to you for the first time ever, Mr. and Miss Ayde.
Love you guys!
That concludes our ceremony. Let's have one hell of a time.